Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a brand new 2020 album review. And today we're going to be looking into the long-awaited 12th studio album from the one and only Ozzy Osbourne entitled Ordinary Man, which was released through Epic Records. Now, I don't even need to introduce Ozzy Osbourne. This man definitely needs no introduction. One of the legendary frontman, less known for the original frontman for the creators of metal themselves, Black Sabbath. And this man has also had a pretty good solo career. And it's hard to believe this year will mark 40 years since his debut solo album Blizzard of Oz, which is a classic, and he's put out classic albums such as like The Ultimate Sin, Diary of a Madman, Bark at the Moon, all that good stuff. And he has, like, of course, has his own band, which has pretty much different lineup changes, like, of course, going from Randy Rhoads to I don't know, fucking Zakk Wylde, to even Gus G. And for this album, this is, of course, his first album in nearly 10 years since, 2010 Scream, which I thought that album was pretty good. But after 10 years, do you think this album will live up to what Scream has done after waiting for so long since Ozzy has any new solo stuff? In my honest opinion, it could have been better. I mean, I'm not gonna talk shit about this album because this album, it's pretty good for the most part, but I feel like there's some things that I do have a little bit nitpicky about, especially with some of like sort of like Ozzy's a little bit of vocals. I mean, I know he has like the whole health shit that he's been going through in the last year or so, and I'm not talking shit about it. I just hope he gets better. But I think there's some songs where he sounds good, and some songs I feel like it kind of uses a little bit of auto-tune from what I've heard after listening to this album a couple times. And the other thing I have is, like, this album doesn't have Zakk Wylde on it at all. It's producer Andrew Watt, who produced this album, is actually handling a lot of the guitars on this track, on this album. And I will say that he is a great guitar player. I mean, but he doesn't live up to like Zakk Wylde standards or Randy Rhoads. But yeah, the bass, you could definitely hear it well in the mix. Is actually done. Basses on this album is actually done by Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, and drumming wise, this drums are performed by Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is just an odd thing, but. And also has some guest appearances, such of course Slash, he does from Guns N' Roses, also does some guitars on this. So yeah. So without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is the song Straight to Hell, which is one of the first singles from this album, which I will address the good and the bad. I feel like I really like the line in here, which is "I'll make you scream, I'll make you defecate," which kind of has a little bit of cringe all over it. I mean, the guitar tone on here is certainly a little bit more punchy, and some of the riffs are decent. And I love how the "all right now" at the beginning almost kind of feels a little bit from like Sweet Leaf from Masters of Reality from Black Sabbath. And I just feel like you can hear autotune on here, but overall I feel like musically it's pretty good. All My Life, another pretty solid song. It's just very rockin', and I feel like this pretty much is a lot better than the previous track I mentioned. Goodbye, I think is pretty solid. And then we get to pretty much one of the best songs on here, which is Ordinary Man, which features a guest appearance on here from Elton John, which I feel like this pretty much sums up the album. It's where Ozzy Osbourne has been done and come and where he is now. This is a 50-year song in the making, like I said, co-starring the great Sir Elton John. And it's frankly, in my opinion, probably the best song on here, and it was released over I don't know, a couple months or so ago. So you definitely need to hear that. It's pretty much a vital song for 2020. Anyway, moving on to Under the Graveyard, which this hard rock joint is well-rounded overall, but doesn't feature anything like mind-boggling from the Prince of Darkness. Lyrically, there's sort of like an ample darkness and pessimism, beginning with the first verse is like, "Today I woke up and hate myself," and he sings continuing, "Death doesn't answer when I cry for help." I mean, yeah, that's dark, but we've been there, done that with Ozzy. I can remember the song Suicide Solution. The second verse is disturbing with lyrics such as "Ashes to ashes, watch me disappear, closer to home because the end is near." And the best part in here is definitely the chorus, which is big and epic as one expects from Ozzy. Next on the album is called Eat Me, which starts off with a very bluesy kind of like harmonica, and it goes into some near funk metal territory, and it really has a groovy bass line and some interesting guitar and drums in here. And I need to say that I really like Andrew Watt as a guitarist more than a producer here on this song. It's just really well done. Today's the End, another great song. I think this is another one of the most standout songs on here to me. And the Scary Little Green Men, which makes up with all sort of like the precepts of shock rock. It's just some very good smooth music, very catchy chorus, and some very mocking humor to this track. Holy for Tonight, another good song. I think it's a pretty good solid song, I should say. That's all I usually say. And then we go to the more kind of like weird or kind of like odd songs. For this is the last two songs, which I feel like will make you like scratch your head and be like, what is this? We'll just start off with It's a Raid. And I feel like Ozzy's voice really cuts through the dense mix of distortion and drums. But unlike the sort of like the contributions of Slash, and I also forgot to mention Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine does like some guest guitars on one or two songs. But yeah, but this song has fucking legendary SoundCloud famous rapper Post Malone. It is unclear why the added value sort of like is bringing to the track, and his vocal style delivery is so modern that it seems to sort of like clash with Ozzy's, and the way the words are pronounced and seemingly forced dynamics are more reminiscent to like a TV talent show where performances where the big note generates a standing ovation than of like Ozzy or Elton John's directness. And that's a style that will never sit well with these ears, but the addition of Post Malone's the credits very much would earn the track a few more extra streams for sort of like younger fans of him. And then the last song, which I didn't really like this at all, which is Take It What You Want, which is Post Malone again, which also features another rapper, Travis Scott, which I feel like this song this song could have been ditched, which it just feels like this song is just pretty much out of sync for like the rest of the album, like where Ordering Man for the most part takes Ozzy's distinctive sound and added some more like 21st century studio tricks like programming and autotune. But I feel like this song is just should have been left off the album. I didn't really like it at all. Now, overall, Ordinary Man by Ozzy Osbourne is a pretty solid album. It's not like mind-blowing, but I feel like there's sort of things that should have been good, that should have been done better. So if I were to give this album a score, I'm probably going to give this a solid 8 out of 10. I just think it's pretty good, but I feel like there's a couple things I feel like Ozzy should have just not done, or things that should have been better. So yep, that's my review of the new Ozzy Osbourne album. Guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. And also, before I end this video, I just want to say, Ozzy, I've heard about all the your Parkinson's disease and all this like health shit that you've been dealing with, and I wanted to see you in May, but I just hope you'll get better, man, because we need the Prince of Darkness alive here. Just so yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and as always, keep it metal.